Omo, everybody really needs to find their square root. Motivated that they refused to leave the country. And because of their disobedience, they stayed behind and they were destroyed. And sometimes when God wants to lead us to a greater area of our lives, it may seem quite more difficult. Like you have to push more so that you can break through into work. Hello and welcome to another vlog on this channel. Today I'm going to be answering one other question that has been asked to me like multiple times, and it's a question that always rings like it's a question that always rings like, and that question I'm going to answering it today. And I'm going to be giving a little insight on my thought on this question and where I am currently, trusting God to help me to share as I should. I'm just going to share some thoughts that I shared with some close friends, and it blessed us when it was shared. And I thought, okay, let me also impute it in this vlog. So in recent times, at least in the last, I don't want to give like a time that may not be very current, but I'm saying like in very recent times, like in the past few years, the word Japa, the word Japa has been very common, like, and it has gotten more intense in terms of beyond just it being a light word or something that people used to maybe even make jokes. Like it has become a serious word, a word that has more meaning now. Like with the current state of my birth country, like beyond just like overlooking, like looking maybe things will be fine, it actually looks like almost everybody really needs to find their square root. And when I was in medical school, I this question was a question that kept coming up, like, are you going to practice in your country? Now, as a medical practitioner who just completed her compulsory 12 months house job, it was a question that I was asked when I was in medical school. It was a question I was asked when I began my house job. It was a question I was asked in the middle of my house job. It was a question I was asked at the end of my house job. Like, it's a question that's always been there. When are you going to Japa? Where are you going to practice? Where are you going to go? And as a person who really wants to involve God in every area of her life, certainly where I'm going to live, where I'm going to practice, where I'm going to fulfill God's will for my life is very important to me, because I need to make sure that God is leading me into my decisions. Now, with the current state of the country, the current state of happenings, and it seems like things are actually getting more complicated. That it has been complicated, but like things are actually reaching everybody. Like the thing is reaching everybody. Um, it is the pressure that is already on the society, and as a young person, will make you want to make a collective decision. Like just because everybody's making a decision, you want to make a decision. However, some of the sincere questions I've asked myself is that, okay, yes, girl, it's true. You don't want to make the decision because everybody's making it, but what decision are you really going to make? Where is God leading you? And this is a question that I've continually asked myself for a while, trusting that the Lord will help me make the right decision. However, when it comes to the matter of Japa, it is the people that really want to leave the country, and people that that want to leave, whether they are being led by God or not, they would come with a lot of arguments in regards to how difficult the country is, how things don't work, how life is not suitable, and all that. And that argument can be so strong that even if a person is not really feeling a pull or a lead to that direction, they may want to make a decision because yes, it's true, things may not be as easy per se for everyone. At least a majority of young people, I hope that English is correct, but majority of young people are really finding it difficult to like pull through in their area of interest to a great extent. I'm just saying a lot of things to cover up. And in that sense, if a person, if one is not being intentional in how God is leading one can just go with the crowd and make a mass decision because everybody's making, because yes, a lot of things concur with their decision. Then there's the other end that even they believe the hope is so strong. I'm one of them. The hope is so strong in the country that you don't even want to make an attempt to know what it involves in leaving the country, and if God really wants you to leave the country, and maybe because of the fear or the things that look like limitations, one decides to not venture into looking into if that's really where God is leading one. So the call has always been, how is God leading me and where is God leading me to? Now, the analogy that I shared in terms of what God really laid on my heart in regards to this Japa conversation, which I shared with some of my close friends, was that in the Bible, this Japa thing was really handled well in the Bible, and we see two ends. We see Isaac in his journey, God telling him to stay in a desert place, that he was going to prosper him. He should not go to the place that seemed prosperous. And God did bless Isaac in the time of famine. We also see the story of Ruth and Boaz. We see that Eli and his wife Naomi, they left Elimelech and his wife Naomi left the country when it was famine, and they, um, um, Naomi came back empty-handed. However, Boaz, who stayed behind during that time, became prosperous. Now we see another end where God, when Jerusalem was getting destroyed, through the prophet Jeremiah, encouraging the people of Israel that they should leave the country and they should go to Babylon, because that is where they will be preserved. That's where be, they will be preserved for the 70 years that the country was going to be destroyed. That is where they would at least be able to flourish. And we see in that time that some people were feeling so motivated that they refused to leave the country. And because of their disobedience, they stayed behind and they were destroyed, and they were not preserved. But people like Daniel, Michel, and his friends, and the people that decided to leave, people like Ezra, people like Nehemiah, decided to leave. They were the people that God used to bring the Israelites back to their place. So in this Japa journey, there are people that God is going to lead out of the country, and if they choose to stay because they believe they have so much hope in Nigeria, they are going to miss out on what God has for them and the purpose that God is going to use them for in the country He's leading them to. And then for those that God is leading to stay behind in the country, if they go because of mass movement, they would go into a country that they will be lost, and they may end up losing much more than they even had before they left. So these two sides lets us know that Japaring out of the country is not necessarily the solution to all our life's problems. And that's one of the angles I've always come from, that going to a new country doesn't mean that because you go there all your life problems are solved. It is very true that in some of the countries that most people want to migrate to, their life there is very reasonable. At least to an extent, you can have a life of comfort. And if you have the skills, you also have the opportunity to grow in your skill, which is one of the things most people are going for. However, as a believer, I know that my life, since I've surrendered it to Christ, that's what it means. Like, I surrender my life to Christ. It means that He needs to lead me in my way. And that has always continually been my standpoint. Now, the question: are you going to jump out of the country? And this is often the answer I usually give. I say that I have an open mind compared to before, and I think experiences so far and with the current state of the country, I, a very patriotic Nigerian, has really begun to start seeing it very well from the eyes of people that are desperate to leave the country, very honestly. And I'm saying that I have an open mind. I know if the Lord decides to lead me out of the country, I'm moving out. But if God still leads me to stay for a while, then I'll stay, trusting that even in these difficult times, that He's going to care for me, He's going to provide for me, and He's going to prosper me. And that is the mindset that I'll be working with. Um, like, I believe that where God leads us, He's going to provide for us, He's going to protect us, He's going to prosper us. I think I talked about that when I answered one of the questions, why Sudan? And like I mentioned in that video, going to that country was a life-changing experience for me. And I know that awareness that God is going to lead me is going to be an experience that will bless my life and also bless everyone around me. So thank you for being here. By the way, that painting behind is number 5 in my collection. of Remember series. I've been posting my art page here, O.R.A product. If you want to see the progression, the name, and everything about that painting, please follow my Instagram page to get more about that. By God's grace, I'm trusting God to help me with many other things. Please check my podcast, my books. There's a project that I'm trusting God to share this year, and that is the Perfect Christian. And it's a really big project, and I'm trusting that by the time I share it, um, it's going to bless as many people that are going to come in contact with it. By the way, it's just going to be an ebook for now. I don't have any hard copies for now. All my books are ebooks, and the link below my seller shop will link you to the Nigerian platform that makes it easy if you're in Nigeria. However, if you want to purchase this book and you're not in Nigeria, my Amazon link is also my main link tree. Link tree. You can go there and go through and check my is it my Amazon or my Bookshreets? If you just see Bookshreet on Amazon, and you'll be able to purchase from that place and leave your reviews. Kindly leave your reviews. By the way, I documented my house job experience in a blog series titled The House Job Chronicles, and I'm going to share the main link below so that you can go and start from the beginning and up to the current place that it is in. So yes, thank you for being here. I didn't start my vlog by saying I'm sorry for the extra noise. Sorry, that's where I am right now. That's the current state. But I hope that the message passed blessed you. I'm holding on to this word that in Isaiah 30 verse 21 that says that I know you hear a voice behind you saying this is where you should go. And also this place in Psalm chapter this is actually a major verse for me. Psalm chapter 37. If I'm not getting the place, I'm going to put it that says that I will lead you in the way that shall go, I shall guide you with my eye. Yeah, I'm going with those verses for my life. Not that I have all the answers, not that I know exactly all the things, not that I know exactly where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes I'm kind of really clueless. Sometimes I'm really overwhelmed. What should I do next, Lord? But I'm trusting that God, with the sincerity of my heart, will help me. And I'm grateful for everyone that even in other pray has been reaching out in prayers, and God has laid me on their heart. Thank you so much for that. I believe that sometimes when God wants to lead us to a greater area of our lives, it may seem quite more difficult, like you have to push more so that you can break through into what God has for you. So I trust that God has great plans for each and every one of us to prosper us. His thoughts for us are for good, not for evil, to bring us to an expected end. So yes, I trust that God will do that for us. So if you enjoy this vlog, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up, to to share, and please subscribe. If you're watching this vlog, you don't subscribe, kindly subscribe. Let the subscriber list at least improve, and as much as possible share this to those that you know will be blessed by it. So until next time on this channel, continue to stay safe